It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview the East Carolina Pirates assistant lacrosse coach, Tianna Wallpher. How are you doing today?
I'm good, Brandon. How are you?
I'm doing good. Can you talk about how you knew that you wanted to get into college coaching?
Yeah, so my journey was a little different, but after I graduated from Towson, I knew that I, wanted to get into kind of the sports side, but how much I wanted to be invested in it. That was kind of the big question. So I actually got a job with T. Rowe Price in finance, and I was coaching club lacrosse. And after about 6 months, I was like, nope, this is not for me. I'm seeing teams posting their fall ball and everything, and still being involved with club, I was just like, I enjoy it too much. I want to be able to get back to the sport in the capacity of coaching. And, once I realized that was the case, I actually called Sonia LaMonica, head coach at Towson, and said, is there any way that I could join the staff in any way? And she said that the volunteer spot was open, and kind of from there, I just continued to fall in love with that aspect of the game and being on the sideline, and really excited that I'm now here at ECU.
What was your college time like playing?
So I love Towson. It was great. It was close to home. I think it kind of hit a lot of points that I was looking for. I originally went to UMBC my freshman year, and so Towson was a school I looked at when I was transferring. I enjoyed my teammates. I enjoyed the coaches. I've learned so much of what I know now from my time at Towson. And I owe a lot to that staff and to my teammates, older and younger than me. So definitely fortunate to have had the experience that I did while I was at Towson.
What were some of your accomplishments at Towson?
Well, I think the big one that a lot of my teammates would say was when we won the CAA championship my sophomore year, so 2016 with Towson. That was kind of a big accomplishment, one that we were all really excited, and unfortunately we couldn't repeat in my other 2 years there. But that was a really big accomplishment, and just personally, just CAA. First team selections, scholar athlete at Towson, which is one that I really admire. But a lot of that I just again couldn't have done without the support of the coaches and my family too. But above anything else, it's the CAA championship. That's something I'm wearing a ring right now on my finger, and I always wear it. That will just always top anything else for me.
What was it like going from obviously playing college to obviously getting in professionally?
It's a little bit of a transition, to be able to even have a professional league was crazy to think, because I think my freshman year in college, sophomore year, it didn't exist. So to be able to have the opportunity to continue to play was something special. But the transition was a little hard at first, just trying to get used to the play, because now you're playing with girls who, not only are older than you, but they're playing for US, they're playing for Canada, they're playing for national teams, and they're very good. They're older. So that was kind of the good and bad about it, and having to adjust. But, now with Athletes Unlimited, I get to play against those girls and also to play with them. A lot of people that, growing up or even just admiring, from across the way, like, man, I would love the opportunity to get to play her rather than to play against her. There's some players that I could probably group in that category, one being like Kayla Trainer, like being able to play with her and not against her. Taylor Cummings didn't get the chance to play with her, but she's one I would love to play with and not against. But there's so many players like that, and that's what's neat about the pro league, is that you get that opportunity with some of the best in the game. So
Of course, what is it like playing with Athletes Unlimited and playing with obviously your teammates that are also college coaches just like you?
It was really cool. It was cool just to see and just to talk about that kind of dynamic. You had a lot of people in the same boat. And at this point, I was looking to, have a more permanent role as a lacrosse coach. I was a volunteer still at Hopkins and looking to make that transition into an assistant coach role. So being able to talk with a lot of my teammates or girls that I just got to know through the league, just about their experiences, different things to kind of look for, to ask what they like, what they didn't like. And that helped me out in my own, development, but also just to see how everyone's story is so different and unique, but also there's a lot of similarities. And I think the biggest one is just that you get into coaching because you love it. You love what you do. You love, being kind of that mentor for younger females, and to also give back to the game because it's meant so much to you. And that's the one thing that, you want to invest all your time in, and that's okay.
What was it like going back to your alma mater to be an assistant coach?
It was really cool. It's a little different because there are still girls on the team at Towson that I have played with. So I say that was probably one of the biggest challenges, is just to separate the two. But to be able to work alongside the coaches in that kind of capacity, where I was actually in the office, got to see the behind the scenes, how much really goes into coaching rather than just the X's and O's that someone might think. I got to learn a lot from the defensive coach, Michael Molster, learned a lot from Sonny LaMonica, Mikey La, Mike LaMonica. So that, I think, just helped me gather more information and knowledge that I kind of needed to continue going on to the path and journey that I was going on in coaching. But I'm proud of where I went. I'm always going to be a proud alum, and I love Towson, always appreciate everything that they did for me. So once a Tiger, always a Tiger.
What was it like when you got the opportunity to go to Johns Hopkins to be an assistant coach?
That was a really kind of just happenstance. I was looking to maybe get into high school coaching at that point once I was done with Towson, and I knew I wanted to go ahead and change because I've been at Towson. Let me go ahead and experience something different. And I was actually at the alumni game, and I had run into them and just kind of getting to talk, and the volunteers position had just opened. And talking, I was able to go in and interview for it and talk with the staff. And I just was fortunate enough that they said, yeah, we'd love to have you as a volunteer. So I joined the staff that season, which unfortunately ended short because of COVID. But I was able to return again this past year with Hopkins. So, getting to learn from the likes of Janine Tucker, who this is her last season, but it's an absolute legend of the game. And not only a great coach, but a great person, probably one of the best human beings you can ever meet. Tara Singleton, another one where she has so much knowledge in just how much she knows the game, but even like off the field too. Just the wisdom I was able to gather from her and to learn from her, especially her being a defensive coach. She's someone that I've looked up to, both as a player and the coach kind of atmosphere. So that was kind of a surreal thing to be able to work with her for a few years. And then Steele Stamwick for the 1 year, that COVID season. It's Steele Stamwick, so that's always a cool opportunity, and just to see how his brain works and to talk through things with him. And then Kristen Carr, one of the best defenders in the world, playing US, and also, seeing how she thinks and having someone like that to kind of talk through. And again, she's someone that is a player and a coach. So to be able to relate with her, and someone who's older, who has had the life experiences, and just to kind of talk through it. And, I'd always say she's kind of like an older sister to me. And I was kind of like the younger sibling that maybe got a little bit annoying, but all in good fun. But, Hopkins is great. The director of ops, Aaron Meisner, the graduate assistant, Logan Emmett. I mean, that whole group is something special. And that's what made my time really special, made it hard to leave. But they're the reason why I felt confident that it was a good time for me to go ahead and make that jump in my career.
What was it like? Obviously, as you said, you were with Kristen Carr, your teammate on Johns Hopkins. What was that like, having both professional athletes on that particular team, to obviously share that experience of being a professional athlete?
I think that it was something it was obviously fun, but to have that kind of experience to bring into coaching, into college, and also just the experiences that you gain more knowledge in the game of lacrosse that you can now share with the team. And Kristen Cookie, she's defensive midi, and she coaches offense for Hopkins, and just to kind of see how her brain works, and to sit there and kind of talk, and to be able to use those experiences both as a player and as a coach to help prepare the team, to perform the best and to set them up for success was always something fun. And also just in ways that you can relate more so with each other, and the girls can look up to you even more so. And I think the girls at Hopkins look up to that whole staff. I mean, who wouldn't when you've got a staff like that? But it was always fun. And I think also just because you had similar mindsets, for her and I specifically with training, and what you wanted to accomplish out of the season on and off the field. So
What was it like going from Johns Hopkins to obviously going to Greenville to ECU?
it was a little bit of a different transition. Hopkins is in the city, Baltimore, and Greenville, East Carolina is very slow, Southern style, warm weather. I mean, you could see the sun shining in. I think it's going to be like 70 degrees today in Maryland. I can imagine it's probably going to be like 50, maybe the high. So that's a little bit of that change. And also, it's not like a downtown city here in Greenville. But I'm loving it. And, I love the staff here. I love Amanda, love Riley, the team. Everyone has made it very easy, where I know I've only been here for a few months, but it feels longer in the best way possible. It feels like I've been here. I'm comfortable here. And almost like I kind of belong here. So it's been a fun fall. It's flown by. Our fall ball's already done with the competition and everything, but I'm loving life in Greenville. I'm loving that I don't have to travel more than 8 minutes to get somewhere, and everything is relatively close, like under 5 miles away, like a Target, or even like a Chick-fil-A. That's always a big one, right? You can't not have Chick-fil-A. And if I'm under 30 miles until I get empty, like I can just keep driving for 3 more weeks and I'm still okay. Only like 10 miles go down. So save money on gas, but this experience has been great so far. And I'm excited for what's to come, and for the season, for a spring season.
Of course, what are some of your coach's accomplishments at ECU as you just began?
Yeah, so I wouldn't even say like accomplishments, but just some things that just learning and just kind of going through, which is just practice with the girls, getting to know the girls, what works, what doesn't work, and that's on and off the field, and just kind of becoming more comfortable with my position. And I think preparing for the fall ball games, and being able to see the growth. I think that would probably be like the accomplishment, but we're not done yet. But just seeing that, there's been growth within the team, and I think that that's something that it's been an all around effort from, the staff, like that includes like strength and conditioning coaches, athletic trainers, to us, to the girls themselves, putting in the work, and also having the mentality of just, wanting to be the best. And what that means is putting in the work to try to be the best that they can be. And I've seen that every single day. And as a coach, that's inspiring for me, because I want to do the same thing. why not give 110% in the office on the field for the girls if that's what they're going to go ahead and give back. So it's been cool.
What is the typical game day like for you at ECU, obviously during fall ball and getting prepared for spring ball?
Yeah, so I haven't had the spring to experience that yet, but excited to experience that in February for fall ball. It's just focusing on what we need to work on, and I think that's kind of always been the primary focus. It's just us. It's just Pirates. So going into the fall, having other competition is always nice because you're not scrimmaging each other. You're playing teams that you don't necessarily know that well, and you just get to play. And I know the girls definitely enjoy it, and as coaches, we enjoy getting to see them go up against other teams, some great teams that we've gone up against in the fall, and see how we compare, how we stack up. But it's just more so, again, the focus is on us, always on us, the things that we did well, things that we didn't do so great on, and how can we learn and improve so that we can kind of fix a lot of that stuff before getting into the spring season. So
What's it going to be like, obviously, this coming spring playing, obviously, teams like Memphis and your opponents?
yeah, so I think that, we have high expectations, and that's the girls in the staff included. And I think not looking too far ahead, taking it day by day and just getting through, 1 week at a time and one game at a time so that we don't get kind of lost in what the main goal is. And again, that's just to be the best that we can be and to make sure that we're doing the things that we're supposed to be doing to succeed. And I think that with those high expectations, comes wanting to win, and being competitive and playing against some very good teams, not only in our conference but out of conference as well, and just showing up and again, leading up to it, doing what we need to do as a team and focusing on us first, and the rest will follow.
Can you talk about, of course, the culture that you have helped build with the ECU lacrosse program?
So with the culture, I would say that, being here for 2 months, I haven't had too much of an impact on it. I think that I am very fortunate that when I joined this staff in this program, that the culture that was set by Amanda and the coaches before me, is one that's awesome. It's from above and down, from, the highest person all the way down. And I think that with this culture, it's just very inclusive. It's a culture where they want to get better. The players want to get better. They want to be pushed, and you see that in the gym. You see that in conditioning. You see that in stick work. You see that in the classroom. So I think I'm very fortunate that I came into where a culture has been set, and it's a very good culture that has only progressed in a positive way that definitely Amanda has set, those coaches again before me have set, and I just hope to continue to set that standard and that culture and to continue to build off of it to only make it better.
What advice would you give college athletes looking to go into playing professionally?
I would say that continue to work hard, continue to put in that time and that effort, and if it doesn't happen right away, don't give up, because you never know when your name's going to be called, especially in a league like Athletes Unlimited. I think something that they've done really well is just try to include a lot of different players from all different kinds of schools. And I think that that's only going to continue to grow. So having that mindset, even if you don't get in right away, or if you're not having the experience that you wanted, to continue to fight, continue to compete, because as a lacrosse player and as someone who plays a sport, you already have that competitive mindset. And I think that always having that goal is great, and to be able to have that goal to play professional is something special. So if at first you don't succeed, continue to try, because you never know. So
What advice would you give professional athletes that are looking to go into college coaching?
I would say just to, find out what you want specifically, what kind of school, where you want to be, location, it's almost as if you're looking for that right fit, just like with any job, is it something that you want to do? Are you okay with putting in a lot of work, working kind of 24/7, no days off? Are you willing to put in that effort knowing that in the end it's going to be worth it, with these girls and with the program and trying to change things and kind of leave a mark? And I would say just to use your resources. There's a lot of connections in the sports world, and that includes getting to know a lot of different people and just reaching out and asking questions, whether that be about a program itself or just about their experience. I think that always helps. Anyone with knowledge, about what they want to do, and I don't think it would hurt to do that. So
What advice would you have college players looking to go into college coaching right after college?
it could be the same thing. Using resources. Obviously, you just were a coach coming out of college, so talking with your coaches, letting them know that that's what you want to do, because again, they might have some advice for you, able to kind of help walk through things with you and kind of help you with that experience. So definitely just talking with your coaches and talking with those people that and same thing, just look at where you want to go, if there is any specific place, what kind of program, what you're looking at trying to do, what you're looking at trying to accomplish. And then I would just say, again, being ready to continue to put in the work, as a coach as you did as an athlete. And I think that's why a lot of former players become coaches. I said it, you love the game too much where you don't want to step away.
That's wonderful advice. Where can my listeners find you at on social media along with the ECU lacrosse program at?
Yeah, so Instagram for me, it's Tianna Wallpher, TiannaWallpher. The ECU women's lacrosse team, it's ECU WLAX on Instagram. Twitter for me is T Wallpher3. ECU women's lax. So say those are about the only social handles that I have in ECU, but Instagram's probably the biggest one. So.
Thank you again, Coach Tianna Wallpher, for your interview, and best of luck in your future with the ECU Women's Lacrosse program.
Thanks, Brandon. I appreciate it.
You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Tina, for your interview, and best of luck in your future.
Thanks, Brandon. Sorry again about the question.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.